there is a ton of news coming out of the Colts camp today. So we're going to probably have 3 videos release all in a row. So the first one I want to tackle is the combine's over. Had a good week. Seemed like everyone had, there were some surprises. We had a new record set in Xavier Worthy. But the big thing that we all want to know, at least for me, is who did the Colts pursue and who did they talk to? In the combine, you're allowed to meet with up to 45 candidates for up to, I think it's 20 minutes apiece. And so who were the big contenders that the Colts targeted and who the Colts have been confirmed to had conversations with? The first one will come as no surprise. The Colts met with tight end Brock Bowers out of Georgia. It was a formal meeting. It said that he had a meeting with him. He was well met with. I think there was like 15 teams out of the 32, some high number like that he met with. So no surprise there. We'll see if he's even available at 15 or if that's the direction the Colts want to go. But there was one that I was super surprised with, and that was they met with Texas Longhorn wide receiver Xavier Worthy, who was the combine now record holder at 4.21 seconds for the 40-yard dash. So they met with Xavier Worthy, who also met with the Texans, the Browns, the Bengals, the Packers, and the Bears. This should come as no surprise. The Colts have, Josh Downs is pretty quick, but they've never had that like really fast wide receiver. Xavier Worthy could prove to be that like really good pairing for Anthony Richardson that would give him that really deep, what they hoped that Alec Pierce would be, but just hasn't ended up that way yet. So that one was surprising to me. I didn't expect them to be on the list for Xavier Worthy. The other one was no surprise. I predicted this last week was Terrion Arnold out of Alabama. He was really confident. He seemed to have a really good combine. That was another formal meeting. I'd really like to see Terrion Arnold go to the Colts. I think that would add a lot of depth. The other one that I really, oh my gosh, this one would be unbelievably good. And the Colts would possibly trade up for this wide receiver. And that's Rome Odunze. I can't remember how to pronounce his name. Out of Washington. That one I think would be wild, but I would love to see it. I think it would be really good for the Colts to have a true like wide receiver like that. I think that'd be really, really cool. Next one was surprising too. Running back Jonathan Brooks out of Texas. That one I was shocked with. I really did not think the Colts would go running back in this draft. I thought they would go with something a little bit more consistent, something a little bit more predictable for them. Running back doesn't strike me as one. I also know that Jonathan Brooks isn't like, he's not going to go in the first round, but I would be shocked for anyone in the combine for the Colts to go running back. This kind of feels weird. I don't know. This is untested waters, and he only met with 3 teams. He only met with the Steelers, the Colts, and the Commanders, who the Commanders would be the only one I would expect out of that bunching to have links to a running back. So that's surprising. Next one that they met with was Braden Fisk out of Florida State. That was a defensive tackle. I would like to see him. I would not like to see him go in the first round of the Colts. Maybe a second-round pick would be good to go and address the defensive tackle. But this also likely means that they're moving on from Grover Stewart and won't be bringing him back, which is really unfortunate. Jalen Ford out of Texas, they also met with him. He was well met with. He met with the Colts, the Rams, the Eagles, and the Giants, as well as the Texans and the Cowboys. They met there. That was another formal meeting that he informally met with the Texans and the Cowboys, informally met with the other ones. This one would be good. This would add to a really solid linebacker room. I would like to see if they pick a linebacker in the second or third round. It's not the need, though. The need is definitely the defensive backfield for sure. So I'm not quite sure what they were doing here. The next one was Jaden Hicks, safety out of Washington State. It's a need. If they get Jaden Hicks in the second or third round, I think this would be a really, really solid pickup. Would really love to see it. That was another formal meeting. And then the last one that we'll cover here is the Adaza Isaac from Penn State. He's an edge rusher. He met with the Colts, the Browns, the Bucks, the Vikings, and the Giants. So we'll see where he goes. I can't imagine that he'll go very high. That might be another like third or fourth round pick. So I may be wrong, and I may just not know some of these guys, but that's definitely where I would think they would go. So where does this tell us? This tells us that the Colts understand their needs. They met with 3 out of 7 of those that we mentioned were defensive, and they were defensive backs or safeties. So it shows that they clearly understand the need. 2 of those were wide receivers, and 2 of those were combine star wide receivers. So I would love to see the Colts take a wide receiver at pick with their first pick in the draft, and even if that means move up to get a wide receiver, I think that'd be really, really good for Anthony Richardson to add another wide receiver to a really good wide receiver room already. I think it'd be awesome. And Brock Bowers has been linked to the Colts from the very beginning. I don't know that I love that pick. I think Brock Bowers is going to be a stud. I think he's going to be awesome. I just don't know that I love it for the Colts if that's the need right now that they have. I mean, Will Mallory was a stud last year, and he's like tight end 4. Plus, we have Jelani Woods coming back, and I think that everyone expects him to be solid again next year. So we'll see where that leaves us, but I'm definitely encouraged with the direction that the Colts were taking it as far as formal meetings in the combine. So we'll see where this goes, and stay tuned and subscribe and enable notifications for all your NFL draft and Colts coverage.